CRs customers, it is Friday night, which means it is time for the Friday night meat raffle. So come on up to the pull tab booth here for our Friday night meat raffle and try to get through 3 rounds here tonight. It's $1 a piece. We use an open meat market. So come on up and get some great selection of meats. Friday night meat raffle. Come on up.
Good evening, everybody. Just a quick microphone check. We're going to go live here in a couple minutes, and if anybody wants to message me or post on YouTube that the volume is good enough and everything, that'd be great. Oh, there's a little slider I put down. But Mark Weaver in the booth. I'll be joined by Jerry Johnson tonight, of course, and we'll go live here in just a couple minutes. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll be right back.
First winner tonight is number 25. If you got number 25, come on up. You just win yourself a great selection. At the same time, we're going to start round number 2. Round number 2 for the meat raffle. Come on up again, $1 a piece to win you a great selection. Going to try to get these 3 rounds. So come on up.
We're going to still go for this whole tournament.
When did they change their rule? This year?
Yeah, I think. I got to look. Break them or what? But anyways, ball hand anywhere.
That's like the best rule, my friend.
What's that?
Good luck. That's like the best rule.
I love it, yeah. Good luck. All right, good luck, guys. Good luck, Jim.
You like Jim or James? Doesn't matter. Yeah, some of my sisters call me Jamie. Yeah, some people call me Jimmy. He's a better rap. I got people that call me Danny. Or Frank. They still call me Danny. My dad used to call me Jimbo. Jimbo? I'm a New York boy. Oh, are you?
All right, again, we're in round number 2. Round number 2 of the meat raffle. Come on up. $1 to get you a great selection. Come on up and get your meat raffle tickets, everyone.
East Coast accent. No.
Hi, Mark. We're in action here.
Yes, here we are. Friday night again, and we got one match tonight. Zach Boss and Dan Key against Gary Neudecker and James Molinari.
Now, James and Gary, did you hear how they got into this tournament? They had an 8-player tournament, $100 entry, and first and second is the team that's playing. That's
I love that idea.
That's
I
a
heard
great
that before.
idea.
Yeah, it's like a satellite tournament for poker tournaments. Yeah, that was a really good idea. But Gary, of course, a very accomplished player, and Frank's a strong player.
James.
James, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Frank. Why is that?
I don't know.
James is a strong player, too, and they're up against Zach Boss, who has won this and took second before, and Mr. Dan Key. It's going to be a heck of a good match, and Gary Neudecker at the table.
Now, Gary's a fast player. Once
He's
you
a
start watching him, he just
fast
gets
player,
going.
yes. Yep. Yeah, and he can put a lot of English on that cue ball, too. He does a lot with that cue ball sometimes. But
I like these solids here.
yeah, what a good rack to start out on, huh? 4 goes by the 12 in the lower left corner if you need to. And
Just
then
not sure if
3
they
and
got to
1.
move that. If they could put that 3 ball, it looks like it might go in the left corner or in the upper left, or left corner or left side if you get
Yeah,
to it.
one or the other. You take the one, you can make the three. Three will go up in either pocket. Make the three, and then the one will go. It'll be curious to see how. I think Gary and James are actually pretty familiar with each other. I think they play a lot of the same tournaments sometimes. Obviously, they're in that satellite tournament.
Okay, now we got a little off angle here. Might have to shoot that 2 ball in the upper left and come 2 rails up for the 7.
Yep. Always a plan B available. And Gary looking at the 7, trying to get a good angle so he can come down for the 1. The 1 will pass the 3 and go in the lower right corner. And the 4 will actually go in the lower left corner past that 12 too. So there's a couple options for him. And that's a really good spot for that cue ball. Gary hit that good. James should just have to roll forward on this, and the 1 will go in the right corner. In fact, I think the 3 goes in the lower right corner too. Both balls will go there. I kind of would like to see James walk around and take a look where the cue ball is going to go, but that's just my style of play. And that'll work. Good spot. Nice speed on that. 3, come back for the 1, come back for the 4, and then 8 goes in the side or in the corner. These guys might jump out on a 1-0 lead here. Friday night, though, CRs Sportsbar. This is the $800 entry Scotch doubles event. First place in this, when it does conclude, will be $10,000. Second place, $6,000. And again, these teams paid $400 a piece for entry, $800 for the team. And as you heard Jerry talk about, James and Gary had played in an 8-person tournament, $100 entry, and first and second, they took the money and entered the tournament. Great idea. Just really has to just leave the 1 ball anywhere over on the right side of the 4. And, oh, careful. Careful. Oh, he hit that way too firm. Oh, boy. You got to slow roll that ball or try to control it. And you can see Gary there giving a little shrug, just hanging out over here. But, that's going to happen sometimes. You're going to have a ball just get away from you. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's early in the match. And you can't let it carry over. It's one of my hardest things that I deal with at the table, and a lot of pro players do, is just having something, not go right or the way you want it to, and then trying to get that out of your mind and out of your psyche going forward is tough. Dan Key at the table now. His partner, of course, Zach Boss, has won it before and played a couple times, I believe, with Trent Miller. And in the last tournament, I think they actually had to compete with each other to get into the money with different teammates. Very strong player, though. The only thing they really have to do is if you want to get over on the left side rail to take that 12 ball, or get underneath it on the bottom rail somewhere, up off about a diamond up or so, and then you could cut it in the lower left corner too. How they want to play that will be curious, because if you go on the left side rail, the 12 doesn't really lead you to the 13. The 13 will go in that same corner though. But what I like to do in that situation is have a couple of balls up table in case I run past the 13. That's after the 12's gone. Looks like they're going to go a different route on it. There's so many ways to get out. Us in the booth here, myself, we suggest patterns, routes to go, and stuff like that. We're not always right, and I've never claimed to be always right, and I know Jerry doesn't either. But we offer some insight, and a lot of times, we do hit the nail on the head, and sometimes we're not the hammer, we're the nail. So, we do our best, though. But I do like now how that 12 is protecting that pocket for them. And all they have to do is get on it, get down on the bottom part of the table, right side of the table, or on the left side rail. And then the 8 is easy to get down to the side pocket. So pretty good strategy to leave that ball out there. Zach looking to see if he has a little bit of an angle to work with, or if he's got to just draw back and try to get on that rail. Now, the rail is a great spot. A little bit off the rail, you start losing that ball, though. And, oh, did he get there? I don't know if he can make that ball. I don't think so. Man. Yeah, the way Dan was just gave a shake of the head. I don't know if Zach got there enough. You know, I'm surprised Zach tried to go that direction because see where the line with the cue ball is? That ball had to go almost down to the spot to be able to make that ball. Whereas if he drew back and got on the side rail, you could spin that 12 ball in. And it's always easier in the booth. I mean, it's so much easier over here. See if Dan can figure out a way to throw this in. Turn it. Oh, man, he did. What a shot. What a shot. Loaded up with a bunch of right English. Must have seen enough of the ball. And when you load that up with English like that, that cue ball will start kind of, if you can picture like a banana, it'll kind of arc a little bit. The English will grab. Eat the side. And what it'll do is when you shoot it, it'll curve out to the right just a little bit. And once it gets there on the ball, it's got so much English on that even if you aim at a contact point on the object ball, it'll throw it to the left and still make that ball. That was really good by Dan. He may have seen more of that than it looks on our screen, but still, that was really good. He had to throw that ball in there, spin it in. And that's a shot that comes up often in pool. If you play pool, competitively, or you probably know the shot. If you do and you don't know it, then it's something you want to practice. Because sometimes when you can barely see the ball and you can't necessarily make it, you can, especially on the Simonis, you can curve that cue ball a little bit by loading up with that English. But they're at 1-0, race to 11, BCA rules. And BCA rules again, in effect for the entire tournament. And one major difference for BCA is that if you scratch on the break or foul on the break, you can take the cue ball and put it anywhere on the table. You're not restricted by the kitchen. So now Gary and James will have another opportunity here. And they had a really good opportunity in that first rack. But, we all know whether it's pool, darts, or horseshoes or anything, backgammon, whatever, things sometimes just go a little bit awry. We're not pros. You see some players play kind of at the high level on these matches. We got to understand also that we're still amateurs. And, we're going to have some mishaps. Some things we're going to be able to shoot out of some of them, and sometimes we can't. I really, obviously, I think anybody their viewing would agree that stripes is the better ones to take here. But the thing that I might not like is I think Gary might start shooting the 9. If he shoots that 9 ball, I would leave the 9 ball. I'd shoot the 14 in the corner, and then take the 9 in the upper right corner and use the cue ball off the 9 ball to run in and move that 8 ball. But they still, they'll still have plenty of opportunity to get on that 8. I would prefer to get back on that 9 ball, though, as soon as possible, because you want to leave as many balls on the table still as options. And the reason I would leave the 10 ball there is that if I can get the angle on the 9 ball to run up into the rail and then come out and bump that 8 ball. I don't really want to go into the 8 ball square because it's going to go into the rail and hit the 6. It's going to stay there. I want to go into the rail, into the 3, or into the rail. And then come back out and then bump that 8 ball. And I would want to leave the 10 ball there because that might be a ball that'll get me out of any trouble. And I think Gary has enough angle on this 9 ball. He's going to go after it. Yeah, he's going to go after the 8 ball breakout. Follow forward. See how when you move it that way, it's going to get tied up still. It didn't do you any good. You had to go into the rail and then into the 8. Or catch the 3 ball with the cue ball, and that would bring you into the rail and then bring you the 8. The 8 would bump out off that rail then. You got to be aware of that when you're playing pool and you're trying to move balls around, trying to break things out, that sometimes you're going to push it into trouble. Good shot, James. That's a good stroke. But you're actually going to get the ball into trouble more. And on that situation right there, there's a high percentage of that 8 ball is going to get tied back up. But there's also a high percentage on this shot that Gary's going to move that 8 ball around the table. And I love that 10 ball is still there. I really like that, leaving that ball there. It's a good bailout ball if they get in trouble. Oh, no. Oh, you got to make it, though. Might have been trying to do too much with that. I think the 1 will go by that 11, but they got to deal with the 3-6. makeable as a combo if you have ball in the hand, but you put the cue ball up on the rail there and shoot the 6. But I don't like that combo from. If he's ever going to shoot that combo, or if you're ever as solid as going to shoot that combo, now would probably be the time, because you're probably not going to get a better look at it from there unless you can put the cue ball right on that middle diamond with ball in hand. Not an easy combo. I wonder if Dan will run the cue ball into it and hit the 7 firm. Yep, just like that. Good shot. Very nice. Hit that ball really well. And his partner, Zach Boss. Zach had mentioned me before the match that he wanted to give a shout-out to Butch and Debbie, his mom and dad. Said he'd be watching, and from up in the booth here, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And a big old shout-out to you guys. Zach is a very, very good pool player and operates with class all the time as well. Can't say enough about that aspect of him. It's what we call a really cool dude, in other words. But a really good pool player, too. Really, really good pool player. Like his game a lot. It's always kind of the same. Him and Dan Key are kind of the same. If they were a record player, they could their records would play on the same speed. If they were records, they would play on the same speed because they got like the same kind of methodical, not slow, just methodical and just concise kind of approach to their games, and it's really cool to see because it works for both of them. You won't see either one of these two do any zipping around the table in high rhythm, but you also don't really see them make a lot of the simple mistakes as a result of that too. So Zach Boss getting on the 1 ball here. And this is the beauty of the 5 being there too. The 1 will squeeze by there, but sometimes when the ball just kind of goes by a ball like that, you really kind of hesitate with doing too much with the cue ball, So it's nice to have kind of an easy shot afterwards. That's the way I feel on the approach. If I'm going to really move a cue ball around, I don't like to have a real tight pocket to go to. So Dan will look whether he wants to punch this over or follow forward. I think follow forward is a higher percentage. But punched it, which works just as good. Probably better even. And then we're going to be up 2-0. Race to 11 again. BCA rules. So you got about 45 minutes if you want to sign up for the Friday night tournament. The side jackpot for that is $2,441, I think I seen posted earlier. And entry fee is $21. $20 goes to the tournament. $1 from each entry goes into the jackpot. And that is the Friday night weekly tournament, one of the longest running weekly tournaments in the Metro. And also one of the best. And I'm not saying that with a bias. I mean, the quality of players that come through here on this Friday night tournaments is every Fargo number you've got almost, except you get up in the 800s now. I haven't seen Shane Van Boning in the Friday night tournament before, just saying. But 2-0, race to 11. And that side jackpot is a thing of where everybody puts $1 into the side jackpot, and before the tournament starts, a name is drawn randomly. It's put into an envelope, almost like at the Oscars or the Emmys, put into a safe. Not really, but it's in a safe spot, and which same thing. But anyways, after the tournament is concluded, then whoever has won the tournament, they'll open the envelope, and if that name matches the name in the envelope, they win the jackpot. It has not been won since its inception. It's a great idea. Billy Benson had brought it to the table, and it's a really great extra idea for extra money. There's almost $2,500 if you win the tournament and your name's drawn. And as anyone that's listened to this stream before has known that I've offered anybody on the way, if you want me to put you and stake you for that side jackpot, I got $1 up here for you. I'll put you in, and we'll do a 50-50 split. I got you. I've even offered before in previous streams to cover the whole tournament, but nobody wanted to do that.
That way the players don't try to sit with you.
But a few weeks ago, Jake Gallery took me on it, and Jake, I was rooting for you so hard. I was pulling for you. I might have even come over and helped coach you if I could have But I was rooting for Jake. I was Jake Allery's #1 fan that night. I'm one of his #1 fans, anyways. Jake's another one of those quality people that you find not just in pool but in life. Same with like Zach, Dan Key here, Gary, James. I mean, we got such a good community. It's just loaded with good people. Two to nothing, race to 11. Mark Weaver in the booth. Jerry Johnson flying around the room as always. And Friday night tournament, taking signups, another 45 minutes for that. If you are on the way or want to, even hop in the shower and come and be a few minutes late, you could call in and just let them know you're on the way. I wouldn't encourage doing that on a regular basis, and don't put me under the bus if you come here and it's too late. But they work with you though, especially if you're common, pool player, common, regular here and stuff. Just don't be like potato chip guy and come in at 7:30 and want to sign up. Love you, Abraham. But somebody had to say it, Abraham. So somebody had to say it. And anybody knows I'm probably the one that'll say it. What do they call that? The voice of the voiceless or something. The voice of the voice of the voiceless. Used to have a shirt with that. And, well, it can get you in trouble, but anyways. Zach Boss trying to get up mid-table, try to get in the 10 or go up there and even move the 11. Look at that shot.
Well, I don't eat stuff, but a lot of their
Nice little rub in the 11, but comes with a price.
have onions.
Now Mr. Dan Key is going to have to slice this into the right side pocket. Anybody remember a pool player from this area? His nickname was Slice. I don't remember his actual name. I remember gambling with him way back in the day a few times, but anytime people start talking about slicing in pool, I always think back about matching up with that guy a few times. I don't remember his name though. My phone won't surprise anybody either. On the charger right now behind me, so I can't really monitor the YouTube chat, but I'll get in there in a few minutes here. Oh, good shot, Zach. Way to get in that 10 ball. What a good shot. The 10 will go in the side or in the corner. I like going in the side and just kind of, taking your medicine with what you end up with the cue ball. Just because I don't know if Dan's got such a slow roll, such a good game with the slow roll ball too. I could see him cutting the 10 in the upper right corner and holding that cue ball for the 8 in the lower left. I could see him doing that, but it looks like he's lining up for the 10 on the side, which is a lot easier shot. And the 8 will probably end up going to the right corner pocket on your screen, the lower right corner pocket.
From his shoulders to right here. And I mean, you should have seen me in the office. I was itching and itching and itching. And when I got done with what I needed to get done,
Yep, it'll go in the right corner pocket. And on that jackpot side pot, I would say to anybody out there, contemplating coming and playing with opener deer season and everything, there's likely to be a lot of the bigger horses aren't going to be here. And what a great time to snap off the tournament and get your name drawn. You make $2,500, and if you let me stake you'll make $1,250. Do the math. Sorry, Leslie. But we're up 3-0. Zach and Dan over Gary and James. Lot of pool to play still. Race to 11. And I want to talk a little story, too, about Dan Key. He was in here practicing and talked with him briefly, wish him luck as well. And he mentioned that I think it was last winter, he went down to Arizona, played in a tournament in a 55-plus senior park or whatever. They had, I think he said 10 tables or something, wherever they were playing or whatever, but he went down there and played, and, he did pretty well. Him and his wife, he mentioned that he's looking at some point maybe even buying a place down there, but had a great time. He spoke so highly of the residents and the people that were playing in that, and he said he played pretty well. Dan's a strong player, and we were talking about that and stuff, and I think it was called the community was called Venture Out. And it's kind of a funny little side story on it is that last week they were originally scheduled to play, Dan and Zach, but they got bumped from last week to this week. I don't know the details on that, but Dan had told me that the individuals there that play in this tournament in that league at that 55 plus community had put the TV out, had tuned in on the stream, popcorn, beverages, etc., and we're going to watch Dan play. And then Dan had only met he was so touched by that. Dan had said that he'd only met them at the tournament, played there a little bit and stuff. And he says when he found that, he was so impressed, and you could tell he was moved by it. And Dan's a very I guess maybe say spiritual guy, but it's just, you could tell it really, really meant so much to him. And I wanted to share that with everybody because Dan's a pretty special dude, man. He had done a garage door a while back too. Dan is lucky he's not wearing a patch, because he had very, very narrowly escaped losing his eye working on his own garage door. But that story he was telling me about that community down there was kind of special in a way, because those guys he had said that Dan was one of the stronger players, or the stronger player, and he talked about how he'd play in leagues when he get down there and stuff. But those folks were so impressed with Dan, not just as a player but as a person, that they set up the TV and were tuning into the match last Friday. And then lo and behold, they weren't even playing. So from CRs and from the stream up here, if venture out, you guys and gals down there watching this, sorry about on the last week, but he's live now. And if you guys are watching, thank you a lot for tuning in. We really appreciate that. And I just wanted to let you guys know, and the guys and gals down there, that you guys really made a good impression on Dan, and that's pretty special. So if you're tuning in, thanks for tuning in. And I'll check on YouTube here in a few minutes. I don't have access to the comments right now, but if any of you are and venture out watching, or if you got set up there in the pool room and stuff, mention on the stream, on the YouTube stream, you can do in the chat there that you guys are tuning in. It'd be cool to see if you guys are on it. So. And that was Dan's shout. Oh no, he caught the 9-ball. Oh boy, opportunity. And this is what you need to do when you're down 3-0. You have an opportunity, you need to capitalize, but you need to get opportunities too. It's a multiple step process. You not only have to have opportunities extended to, but then you have to capitalize on those opportunities. And good shot. See how he threw that ball in there? He shot that shot almost like Dan Key did, but Gary used different English. He used left English instead of right English, and he threw that ball so much with that English. One thing Gary will not be accused of ever in pool is not using enough of the cue ball. I don't tell you that. He puts some English on that cue ball that I don't think physics can even describe sometimes, and it's a thing of beauty when he gets that ball rolling. He plays some really good pool. It's fun to watch. Fun to watch for sure. And then a shout out as well for Gary, as long as I got him under the spotlight here. His sister Paula down in Tampa Bay said that she'd be tuning in. So Paula, if you tuned in, thank you for tuning in to the stream, and hope you're enjoying it. And
you'll know late tonight, huh?
Gary's a very well liked and well respected person up the community up here for sure. So as I went around and wish these guys all luck, I didn't get a chance to talk to James though. So I do apologize on that regard. If anybody out there is close to him and watching, then you got your shout out. But I do apologize. I didn't get a chance to talk with him. They were working on something before the match, and then I was talking to John Koskanimi over here on a few things, and I was doing my preparatory notes for the stream. Or pregame, as Billy would say. I was pregaming it. Oh, man. But we're live here. You see in the upper right corner of your screen, CRs Sportsbar in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. It's the mecca of pool in the upper Midwest. So the only real issue they're going to have here is that 12 ball. When to get on the 12 ball and how to get on the 12 ball. The 8 has multiple pockets. I like using that stripe in the middle of the table to get on the 12. I think you might have to shoot this 10 now. And then if you shoot the 10 and come out off the left rail and give yourself a little bit of an angle so you take that stripe in the middle of the table in the upper right corner where his hand just was, and then go down to the side rail and then get underneath that 12. I think the 12 might go by the 5 ball, but I don't want to shoot that ball now. I just think I have better options to get me there. I think there's I have different routes that I can get on that 12 where I'd be a little more comfortable. But if it goes, man, I cannot fault James for shooting at it. It's a tight pocket. Oh, he played it safe. Tried to play safe. Oh, man, not a bad try, but I think you have to go after that ball. You have to shoot the 10 and work your way around the table and get on that ball somehow. Because the problem is this: if James had gotten with that safety, say the cue ball is down here in the bottom rail, that 5 and the 3 is set up so that literally you could just kind of slow roll into either one of them and hide the cue ball behind it. So when you're playing some safeties like that, you got to think ahead a couple of steps. You almost got to play chess instead of checkers. Okay, if I get the cue ball here, what's going to happen to me? And we'll see Zach here try to slow roll behind the 3 and just kind of tink behind it, just like that. And you really kind of set yourself up for that kind of a safety by putting the cue ball down there. You kind of give solids the advantage from that spot down there. I don't think Gary can kick and make that 11 in the upper corner. I think the 8 is in the way, and then for one path, and then the stripe in the middle of the table is their nemesis for that too, because they can't spin off the right side rail. That stripe would be in the way of that route. And I think Gary thinks he can see that ball. If he can see that, I can see him trying the combination on the 11 in the upper corner. I think he can see that too, just from the way it's laying there. I think he can see the edge of that ball, but he might see just the edge of where he can hit it and not necessarily even make the 11. He's going to, oh, he can see the 12. That's even better for them. Yeah, he's going to try to cut the 12. That was the ball that he was looking at. Look at that shot. Oh, man, nice try, Gary. Now, that 6 ball is in jail. That ball is a that's a really tough position. For the main reason is that they don't really have a way to break that thing out of there. They have a bank that would go to the upper right corner. And it might bank in the right side pocket, but for sure there's a pocket in the upper right corner. My thought on this, and it's probably not a very popular opinion, but and he hung that one, which might not turn out too bad. But my thought was that if you're solids, that you almost have to play for the bank on the 6 ball in the upper right corner. Just because I don't see any route where they can break it out. Now the 5 comes into play, break it out, but from where he was, and see what James does here on this ball. It's not an easy shot, but it's definitely makeable. Good shot. Oh, no, he got kind of unlucky. He made both of them. I think the 10 will still go from back there, though. But what I was going to say on the solids there is that, sometimes when a ball is hard to access to break out, we try to get to it, and then what happens is that we end up getting in the area with the cue ball where we don't even have a bank. And, let's say arbitrary number, a bank is 20% chance or 30% chance or whatever. That's better than 0. That was a good shot there. Nice speed. Good out by you. Good out by Gary and James here. Well done. Well done. 3-1, race to 11 on the board. That first game, oftentimes in a match, is one of the hardest ones to get. It's like bookends. The first game is hard, and then the very last game when you're on the hill, that can be awful hard too. Sometimes people, when they get on the hill, they're just kind of hanging on to close the match out and stuff. But we are again live here at CRs Sportsbar, 1/2 hour away from the 7 o'clock Friday night tournament. $21 entry. You see, they got probably right now about a dozen people here. People are strolling in left and right, though. JD Damel just came in the house. Got Pow here. You got a few guys I don't recognize. A few new faces even, so. So down 1-3 in a race to 11. Not an insurmountable lead at all. We've seen teams often come back from a few games down. We've seen one team come back from, I think there were 7 or 8 games down, which was kind of an anomaly. But that's why you play. That's why you it's kind of a cliche, but that's why you never give up. If a team or an individual you're competing against has gotten out in a lead against you, and you don't think you can do the same back, then you probably shouldn't enter that tournament. Because you have to believe if somebody can do that to you, that you can do it to them. And if you don't believe that, then you're probably not going to win the tournament. I know people play for different reasons, but believe to achieve. My mantra when I ran a sales team for years, and I still say it to this day. Believe to achieve. Do I believe all the time in me? No, I sure don't. Anybody that knows me that knows that it's probably a coin toss even at times, but I've gotten better at that, and it's not by being on this stream or preaching things or pointing things out that I do those things to the T. I hope nobody's that naive or that foolish to even think that, but this isn't like church. I'm not a priest where I'm walking the holy line. I'm a human being. I'm infallible just like the rest of you. And more often than not, I'll even mention, and I'm honest in this, is that I do this as much as anybody else. And, when I bring something up, I'm just as guilty. The game is tough, and, it's an easy game, but it's tough because we get involved. Us, the player. Good shot, man. That's not an easy ball, but we get involved. We get our minds involved. We get our emotions involved, our thought processes, our ups and downs. And table's always going to be the same. Play differently from day to day, maybe month to month, but that's going to be consistent. Q, if you got a straight one, it's going to be consistent. Only thing that isn't consistent is us. Balls are consistent, unless you ask Dave Weebaus, and he measure every ball in the room and tell you differently, but it's us. We're the biggest inconsistency in this game. Us. Now let's see what you do without 3 ball. I'd love to have seen this addressed a little bit sooner, but it's always nice to have a few more pool balls on the table when you're breaking out a problem ball, just because if you don't break it out cleanly or don't end up getting on the ball, then you have some options available for you. A lot of times when you leave your breakout ball for your second to last ball, you get in trouble. But James and Gary have an opportunity to prove that wrong. Now, I think it goes in the side. I think it does. Yeah, it goes in the side. If Gary can hold this cue ball, he's going to hit this draw with low right and go off the bottom rail. The cue ball will hit probably where those chalks are on the bottom rail, and then it'll spin back to the left on your screen. But he'll have to put right English on the cue ball to get there. So it'll be low right. Draw the cue ball down. It'll be probably hit just left of those chalks. Oh, he didn't even go down to him. Yeah, it didn't even go down to him. That ball might not have gone then. Willie Driscoll in the house. Sean Holmes is in the house too. And we got Hank the Tank here, of course. So 1-3, race to 11. kind of cleanup right now. So many ways to get out here. I like how they're working the one end of the table, and then use the 11 ball to come back the other end of the table. You could even leave the 11 ball there too if you wanted. You could go this 13 ball to the 10, 10 to the 14, and then the 11. 11 is a nice little stop shot, and then the 8 goes right in the side, but this is a good route too. 8 goes in the left side as well. It's multiple ways to pattern this out here. Big thing is don't miss. And then that pattern gets thrown away. Maybe a different pattern. The pattern wasn't bad. It was just uncharacteristic miss by Zach there. I probably would have lost a kidney if I had been asked to put a kidney on them getting out there. But it happens to all of us. Ooh, a little bit outside. A little bit outside. The thing that'll happen sometimes on these tables with the Simonis and even being on this kind of a stage is that when you start not really slow rolling, but that wasn't really a slow roll, but when you don't really stroke the ball in or hit it more firmly, if you're off a little bit on your aim, especially on a distant shot like that where you got a few feet in between you and the object ball, if you have English on the ball, you're off a little bit. That English is going to throw that ball. You're going to end up missing. The ball will actually spin off the line that you shot it at. Talking about the cue ball, it's kind of like a few games ago how Dan Key kind of put a lot of right English and spun around and made that ball in the corner. The same thing happens if you do that and you're shooting at the contact point to make the ball. It'll curve out and you miss it. And that's what I think James did there. I think he might do better to hit it a little bit more firm, or on a shot like that, not use any English at all. Just use center ball and just kind of run the cue ball across the table and back. Then take that out of the equation. I do that a lot, where you get to where you start rolling the ball in more and you feel good. And it doesn't even really mean you're not missing a lot of shots, but every now and then you'll just catch one with a little bit too much English and you'll be cheating the ball in the pocket, and all of a sudden you're already off the line to make it, and then you throw it a little bit too much, even more off the line. If that makes any sense. This Simonis and the cloth and stuff, it'll grab on that. If you're going a few feet and you got a lot of English on the ball, it'll grab and move that cue ball. You'll see it a lot also if you're shooting where the cue ball is close to the rail and you have the cue elevated a little bit. You have the back end of the cue elevated. That'll squirt the cue ball too. On a shot like that, that'll really swerve the cue ball. That's why if you're doing that, things like close to the rail, things like that, the more you can shoot to the center of the cue ball and use less English, the better you're going to be, more consistent you'll be. Oh, right in the side pocket. Especially when you're elevating the butt of the cue, because you're pushing down into the slate a little bit, causing it to squirt for sure. So 4-1, race to 11. And James and Gary back in command of the table. I think the 8 goes in the lower left corner. And if that does, I would start out with the 2, and then get on the 1. And use the 1 to get back up table. And I'm probably going to end up shooting the 4, 5, 6 combo. But I would almost bet that if I shoot that 4, 5, 6 combo, the 5 will go off the 3 into the 6. But it looks like they're taking stripes. Probably a better suit than I was looking at. It definitely is. A much better layout. It's completely 100% wrong on my going on solids. But if I was solids, yeah, Gary he don't take much time. It might take a little bit more time playing doubles than he does when he plays singles, but usually plays at a pretty good pace, as you heard Jerry allude to. James on the 15 here. Gotta be careful you don't give yourself too much of a weird angle on the 13. I think he's kind of straight in. Ooh, he did punch through that. Good shot. I didn't think he had much of an angle there. I thought he was going to try to draw back in that, but he hit that one pretty good. Now the challenge will be rubbing. You're going to run into the 2 ball most likely. Nope, he avoided it. Look at this ball. Look at that pocket speed. I just love Gary's game.
He just sees me coming and
I just love his game. He hits that ball so good, man. Avoided the 2 ball completely and just pocket speed. Now you can take these any way you want. I like going from the 13 back to the 11 though. But 11 back to the 13, either way, flip a coin. Most pool players will get out no matter which ball they take here. It's really kind of more of a personal preference than anything. And Gary on the 13, 8. Yeah, the 8 will go there. I think he was looking more to see about where the straight in line was, you know. Okay, if I'm here, it's straight in, a little bit, maybe a diamond either way. It was going to be an easy cut. Here's my middle point then. Anywhere in this range will be good. Just got to make the ball. Another pocket speed ball. He's so good at that. Oh, man, he's so good at that. He's beaten me many times when we've played in tournaments and stuff, and I've watched him just do these rack after rack. And it's fun to watch. Very creative player. James with a good stroke. 4-2. 4-2, race to 11, CRs Sportsbar in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Quick peek at all of our sponsors. I'll go over these sometime during the match, but thank you as always to every one of you. Last few years especially, you've helped in the stream. I know that some of you have been there through the whole haul. Some have come on board, but every one of you deserves props. And if you have any kind of needs or services that they might help you out with, be sure to give them a ring. Cover a lot of different industries right there. But again, much thanks to all of you. 2-4, race to 11. Gary and James at the table. Gary will be breaking. This is Mark Weaver in the booth at CRs Sportsbar. Of course, in Coon Rapids, Minnesota.
and if there aren't, it'll get some.
Ooh, not a very good break. Kind of caught the edge of the ball, but they spread pretty well. They ended up spreading pretty well anyways, but I'll tell you right now, there's little... well, if I'm shooting this, I've got to take stripes, but there's a ball on this table that is in a really bad spot for stripes. And that's the ball right over by the 15. It's not a big deal, though. As you get on the 15, you can just shoot that right up in the corner as well. Yeah, 15 goes up there. And that ball goes up in the corner anyways, but it's the type of shot that just keeps me up at night. Anybody who's heard these streams, anywhere from there to that first diamond, I just absolutely loathe having a pull bar there. Oh, no. Oh, boy. I think it actually, I take that back. I think it actually might go on the side. Never mind. Are my eyes that bad? Is it an easy ball? Oh, yeah, it is. It's an easy ball on the side. Never mind. I thought it was froze on the rail over there. Yeah. Oh, that's not an easy spot, though. Oh, my God. Look at Dan's just kind of chuckling. Oh, boy. That's a tough one now. The only shot he has where he can make the ball is kick to the right side rail and then try to make the 10 ball. He's got to draw on some of his inner TJ Steinhaus kicking ability.
Yeah, Cole was shooting on it. I don't know where he went.
Anyone that plays TJ not only knows how well he plays, but no kick is safe from him. I mean, amazing what he does.
Jerry even told Cole no. So there's enough people shooting by themselves that you can hop onto somebody and push it off.
No. Don't wave your hands up. You get opportunities. It's all right. I don't like to ever show my opponent that move that he just did. Put my hand up in the air like, you know, look at this. I don't like showing my opponent that. I don't want them to ever think that I'm disappointed or anything at the table. Except in myself. I mean, you got to expect that you're not always going to have a really good lie to start out with. Or, you know, that's a golf term, but just roll the 4 and the 5 in. Now, the thing on this shot here is that you don't have to make the 5, but you have to leave it in the pocket if you miss it. Leave it so it blocks that hole. Hit it that speed. Oh, good shot. He made it good too. Good ball. But on a shot like that, you know, look where the cue ball ended up. Even if you miss that, there, you know, Stripes would be in a lot of trouble. But if you don't make that ball, try to leave that ball in the hole. Don't hit it so hard that it comes back out of the hole, and then, you know, at least it strategically can make it more difficult for your opponent. But if this goes, it's kind of a free shot for them in a way, because if they get the cue ball up table, they're going to be pretty safe. I think you can make it, of course, but it's almost kind of a two-way here where you get the cue ball up there onto the 7 or the 6, and at least you leave a lot of distance between them and their ball, but you make it so it's difficult for them. Oh, boy. I think Gary will shoot this in the side, though. Take the 6 in the side, and you're guaranteed to be on the 7 if you make the ball. But then they still have to deal with the 2 and the 1 to figure something out. Hit that ball pretty good, and they've got a breakout angle on the 7 now. 7 goes, they can run the cue ball to the left side rail or run into the 2 ball. Unless the 2 goes. I don't know if the 2 goes. I can't see from his view. What's up, Shane? How you doing, man? Shane Jackson in the house for the Friday night tournament. You want to go to the rail with this if possible. Might not be able to. Oh, and I think he got him on the 2. Does it go? If it doesn't go, there's a really, really good safety on this ball. But yeah, he's going to make it. He's going to cut in. This is another shot where I think he's going to put a lot of English on this and help it throw it in. No, did miss it. Good leave though. Yeah, good leave. You got him. Now Zach has a kick at the 15, and I think you can see part of the 10. But if he hits that 10 ball, I'm almost certain the cue ball is going to end up going for a swim in the lower left corner. Or it'll run into the 15 ball. At any rate, you're going to end up probably leaving them a shot. The only real safe spot, if he can hit that 10, is have the cue ball go down to the 15, and then go into the diamond right to the right of it, and then over behind the 13 ball. Not easy, is it? No. And I'm pretty certain I wouldn't shoot that shot. But there is an option there, and I think he's gonna jump to 12, yeah. You know, crazy. If he couldn't jump, he could kick end rail maybe and play the 12 off the 13 in a carom. Carom. Potato, tomato. I think it's carom though, ain't it? Or is it carom? Nope. Doesn't like it. I think he thinks he can see that ball. Yeah, he's going to play safe. He's going to roll into the edge of the 12. Cue ball's going to go to the right side rail. He's going to try to put the cue ball down on the bottom rail. Or he might... No, he's going to try to make the 12. Nope. Cue ball got away from him a little bit. The 8 goes in the lower left corner if the cue ball's right there. Well, it's not an easy 8 ball to get on for the corner, though, but I don't think it goes on the right side either. But the ball does it does go in the lower left corner. Does have that pocket available. Got to get there. Oh boy. Oh man. Woo. Plenty of speed. I think that would have won another diamond and a half. Man, he hit that one pretty good, James. Hit that ball good. Yeah, it goes, man, but ideally you want to get back a little bit further than that, Gary. I think the thing Gary wants to prevent, is to not draw far enough where you lose the ball completely, which is easy to do in this. So you're probably going to end up leaving James with a little bit more of a back cut than most of us would want to shoot. Oh, he did this instead. Man, what a shot. Gary, good ball, buddy. Good ball. That's even better. Very well done. Now James has just got to pocket it up in the corner. I don't think he would bank this or nothing. It is a big pocket though, but just straight in. Cut it up there. A little bit of a back cut, not straight in. 3-4, here we go. Anytime a team gets out ahead by a few games, it's almost guaranteed the other team comes back in this. It's just phenomenal how that works out in this Scotch event. I'll be right back in about 20 seconds.
Attention pool players. If you want to play in tonight's tournament and have not signed up yet, please come up and do so. It is last call.
Hank, do you want me to stake you on the jackpot? You want me to stake you for the jackpot? I'll put you in for the $1. I'll back you, dude. It's a good deal for you, man. It's an easy $1,250 for you if you win the tournament and get drawn. Don't tell me you're actually doing the math. So don't tell me you're actually doing the math. I almost thought I had him, folks. I probably shouldn't have laughed so much, but I had him confused. I might have got him. So Zach and Dan working through this table here. You know, the balls are pretty open. There's so many times on these racks, especially when you get a few balls in and the balls are pretty wide open. You know, there's patterns that you can take. There's multiple ways oftentimes to get out. But when you get a wide open table, you know, it's a thing of where you can't just get lazy and think, oh, no matter where I end up, I'm going to have a shot. You still got to have a plan. You still got to have a process you're going through. You still got to play with purpose. The minute you don't do that, that's when you start all of a sudden getting the wrong side of a ball, or you end up getting behind a ball. And so watch any of my stuff that's out there, and you'll see what happens when you get a little lazy and just start taking stuff for granted. You get in trouble at the pool table. Come out. Look at that draw. That was a nice shot. Wow, beautiful. 6-3, race to 11. Dan Key and Zach putting a couple together here. And take a quick peek again at our sponsors. I'll go through these pretty quick. Military Mortgage Guru, Mr. Steve Brand. Color Caliber Painting, Eric Michaels. Primo Roofing, Siding, Windows, Gutters, and Painting, Mr. Nick Hansen, my partner in this event. Dirty Whore Clothing Company. Refuge Roofing and Siding, Mr. Josh Wallstrom. You see him in this events, and a good sponsor of ours as well. All these guys are, and gals. D-Hand Garage Doors, Mr. Billy Bob. Anything with your garage door related, give that man a call. He knows his stuff. And I believe he's the guy that Dan Key got to come and do his job properly when Dan almost lost an eyeball. And really could have been even worse than that. Good solid break by Zach. Dan will lead him off here. It looks like stripes would be the way to go. But I could make a case for solids too, because here's the thing. Look where that 4 ball is. If he shoots that 4 ball and runs out into the 15 ball with the cue ball, 15 and the 2, just catch the edge of the 15, every solid goes. And then solids are easy then. Now he could take the 2 in the upper left corner as well. And then everything goes that way too. I think I would stick with solids on this. I really do. And it really, I don't like the 2 first. I do like the 4 first. If I'm taking solids, I like that 4 ball first. And running the cue ball, just trying to catch part of the 15. Just a bit of it. And then everything is wide open from there. He's going to want to, I think he's going to want to bump. No, you don't have to bump the 15. I like getting the 15 out of the way, though, just like that. Yep. Make the 1 ball a little bit more accessible. And I think the 3 still goes. If it doesn't, you could move it now off the 1 ball here. You can move the 15 anyways. You got to be careful with that, though, because the 15 might leak over onto the 5. I don't think it has to move, though, especially if you take it in the side. Oh, get off that rail. Louder, Leslie. Stop that. Microphone. Somebody muted the tournament director's microphone for the Friday night. That's what I was saying. She was trying to speak into it, but yeah, the Friday night tournament is getting underway. The draw's been done, so if you're on your way and you haven't signed up, you might be paddling that canoe up that creek. So get over to the left side of the table and shape the 7 or the 6. That's a good spot right there. Play the 6, run the cue ball over. You got to be careful about that 11 ball. The 11 ball is going to want to try to mess your program up, but I think he can come underneath that. hit the 6 a little bit thinner, and then by thinner, he'll be playing it to the lower left part of the corner pocket. You see the lower left, right, so the lower right corner, sorry. He's going to cheat this ball to the lower left part of that pocket. And that way you can hit that 6 ball thinner, and then he's going to try to avoid that 11 completely. Nope, couldn't avoid the 11, but he controlled the cue ball, though. Well done. So that's why a lot of times hear about cheating the pocket. You don't always have to hit it in the center of the pocket, and a lot of times in proper runouts we don't. We manipulate our deflection of the cue ball and where the cue ball goes by cheating the pocket a little bit to the high side or the low side, etc. That was another good out. I think they put it. This is a 3-pack for them right now. They were up 4-3, and they're at 7-3 now. That's the 3-pack. But again, CRs Sportsbar, Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you have not hit the subscribe button, please do. We appreciate the support. And thumbs up, thumb down. Do what you got to do. But we appreciate every one of you out there. It's always fun doing these streams, and it's always cool seeing not only the regulars, viewers, but also the new ones popping in. So again, a little bit more around the horn and the sponsors. We got M&K Tire. They will come to your business, place, residence, broken down on the side of the road. I don't know. They'll probably hit you up at the deer camp as well. But full service for anything with your tires related. I think Jerry had his done here in the parking lot back in CRs here. Great company, though, and really good service, too, to come and help you out wherever you're at. So another good solid break by Zach, and Dan ain't wasting much time. Solid stripes are runnable for sure. Well, can you go off the rail first, take that 12 first, or just straight stroke this ball in, man? Good shot. Center of the pocket. So now the only real thing they're going to have to navigate here is that 10 to the 12. It's not a big deal. See where the cue ball is right now? Anywhere left of where that cue ball was gives you an easy angle on the 10 to float to the right side of the 8 and then get on the 12. You could also go to the left side rail and then spin in between the 12 and the 8 and get on the 12 that way too. That's a pretty good spot right there. It looks like they're see where the 10 is, cue ball is right now. Look at that 10 ball. Look how easy that goes from around the 8 ball, and then you get on the 12, but they're not there yet. That's a perfect angle right there on that 10 ball too. It's an absolute beautiful angle. This will work as well. The thing you have to prevent here is that you don't want to hit the, see where the 8 is on the numbers there? You don't want the cue ball to run into there because you'll end up with the 8 in between you and the 12 ball. Avoiding the 8 completely is perfect. Good shot. See how if he'd have just caught the edge of the numbers there on that 8, that 8 ball would have gotten in between him and the cue ball and the 12 ball. He hit it cleanly past there. It's a good shot. And that is a 4-pack put together. Pretty tough to beat when your opponent, whether a team or a singles, is running out rack after rack on you. Makes it tough, but James and Gary, you've seen this stream enough, you've seen these matches enough, you're never out of it. Ever out of it. Mo Bashir in the house. Is Mo playing in this tournament? Leslie? Leslie, did Mo sign up for the tournament? Did he? I don't see Jed, who fled, Lampy, in the house. He's normally a regular on the Friday nights. Any Ben Maller show aficionados will know what I'm talking about. Jed, who fled. So 8-3, Zach at the table breaking again, and another ball on the break. And this is a tough first starting spot right here. Although I think he has the 11. If he has the 11, it ain't that bad. Nope, look at that smirk. He can't shoot it. So you're going to have to shoot the 1 ball. The world ain't over, though, because solids are sitting pretty good. This is not a real easy starting ball. That 1 ball is not easy from there. But the beauty of Simonis and true tables like we have at CRs here is you just got to hit the contact point and that ball will go in. Contact point, middle of the pocket, shoot it, goes in. That's pool. It's that easy. End of stream. That's all I got to say. Oh, good shot, man. Good shot. That is not an easy ball. That is not an easy ball. And looks like Zach will have a little bit of work on the side pocket here with the 2. Oh, he's going to play safe, even smarter. Well done. I like this a lot. Look at this. Doink. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, my. Oh, my God. This is when a game turns from friendly to friendly but highly competitive. Yeah, there's a ball, 12 ball. I don't think he can kick and make that directly. I think if he's going to make this ball, the cue ball will have to graze off the 12 or the 9 ball. I don't feel he has an actual path to make the 12. Oh, nope. If he's, see, he's going to catch a 9 first. Good try, though. Good try. Good try. That was a tough spot, man. What a safe. Smart idea, too. I'd never even looked. I was thinking that cut 2 in the side, but, man, is that a smart play. That's the right play, too. Simple, easy safety like that. Low percentage to screw anything up. Low percentage that your opponent's going to be shooting next. Well done. Well done. So keep an eye out on Facebook, as always. This match is far from over, but keep an eye for Jerry's post for what's coming up on next Friday. And I think he did run a couple ideas by me earlier, but I'm not sure what he finalized on as far as who's playing or who's playing in 2 weeks. I think in 2 weeks I'll be good shot, pocket speed. I'll be I think it was mentioned then that Nick and I might be playing. I needed a couple weeks for my broken big toe here to get better, and it's healing up pretty good. So. Last Friday when I was trying some 1 pocket, it was pretty tough. Oh, no, he caught that ball. Uh-oh. He does have the 2 ball, though. And it was excruciating. I wasn't able to do it, but today I was able to get in some time on the table. Felt good. Get a little of the rust shaken off. This is the tester here. Up 8-3. It makes it a little bit easier, but still. And this will be a... man, was that unlucky that he caught the... He might be able to make the 4 ball. Let's say that was kind of unlucky how he caught that ball there a little bit, but I think they got away with it. Every now and then the pool gods will throw us a bone, so to speak, but keep in mind when the pool gods are doing that, they like to keep their receipts, and at some point they're going to cash them in on you. So as much as rolls or the momentum goes your way, at some point it's going to go the other direction. You just got to be prepared for that. So 9-3, race to 11. Mr. Zach and Mr. Dan putting on a 5-pack now. 5 in a row. Man, that's tough. Gary and James ran into a well-oiled machine this evening. They did start out with some great opportunities, though, and they took advantage of them, too. They were down 4 and came back, got to 4-3, and then it's been a package ever since from Dan and Zach. So, keep your chins up over there. You cannot fault yourself at all for being down 6, but teams have come back from bigger deficits here in this. Zach keeps making balls in the break, though, and it might be But Zach keeps making a ball. This might be over soon because they're running them out. I had a Friday night tournament competitor coming up and asking if there was a second match, so I had to mute briefly. Only the one match tonight. While the double headers are fun, don't get me wrong, it can be a long one, but if I had the comfort of the chairs that you people are sitting in, the double headers would go a lot smoother on this end. But after a handful of hours, these benches or these seats here, as comfortable as they are, it turns into like a high school bleachers. If we can all remember back to those days and how uncomfortable those often were. And that's just a matter of too much time in the chair. Gravity starts to work too much and gets rid of the cushion. Something like that. Take the 3. He's going to have to. I wouldn't be surprised if he uses a stripe to move over and to go over and maybe move the 2 and the 1 somehow. I think that's what I would play. I'd play to shoot the 3, and I'm going to catch the edge of that stripe. I'm going to move that stripe over to the 2. Run into the 2 and then open up that 2-1 for me. I got the 7 down table. I got the 6 if it comes to that side of it, but I think he's going to actually go stripe first and make this. I think I'd hit 3 first. Either way, you're going to probably get buried up there with the cue ball, though. No, it doesn't like that either. You shoot it lefty, man. John Moore does. I know it's something that we're not all comfortable with, but whether you're lefty, shooting righty, some shots righty, and we're righty shooting some. A shot like this for an accomplished pool player, you should be able to shoot that left-handed. Take the bridge completely out of it. This kind of a shot like here, we should get good at. Opposite-handed. Man, look at the juice in that cue ball too. Wow, holy cow! Wow, that was a good shot. But a shot like that, really practice that with the other hand. Especially when you don't have to do much with the cue ball. There's no reason to really bring the bridge into play because one with the bridge, sometimes people shoot that close to with the cue ball and the bridge right up there. You might not get the bridge out of the way in time. Then you're looking at a foul. Just those little tiny shots that you can lean over and just shoot with the opposite hand, just kind of gently stroke it in. Practice those. You don't have to start running tables with the opposite hand, but some of those little shots, instead of using the bridge, just try it with the other hand when you're practicing. Don't expect good results. Be a realist. And who knows, maybe you start shooting better with the opposite hand. Then you'd have to go by, like if you're right-handed, if you find out you shoot better with the other hand, then you got to go buy a left-handed cue. So you end up buying more equipment. Yeah, that was a 5-pack. That's the only drawback of finding you can shoot with the other hand. Is that you got to buy a cue for the other hand. Left-hander would have to buy a right-handed cue. Right-handed would have to buy a left-handed cue. And the case too. Let's not forget the case. If you're a right-handed player and you have a case, then you got to buy a case. If you go to the left hand, you got to buy a different case because it's got to hang on the different shoulder, right? Everything changes. You got to buy a whole new set. Left-handed chalk. You do have to get an opposite glove. That's the only thing I'm not full of, what about. But so there is a couple safeties here they could do. I don't see them playing a safe from this spot, but you could get up there behind the 1 ball off the 2. You could get up there behind the 5 ball. You get up there behind the 15 ball. There's a few spots up there that are pretty safe. Watch a scratch off. Oh, I was going to say watch a scratch off the rail off that 13 ball. And if you'd have caught that 13 ball, I think that would have scratched. Zach threading the needle here. 2 lower left corner pocket. Roll forward and get on the 1. He might take the 5. Now, well, 6 goes in the corner, not a big deal. I don't know if Dan can slow roll this 1 from there and then bump into the 5 and keep the 5 in play. The 5 might go into the rail and then come up off that rail and then take it away from him. But if he could slow roll this 1 with some left English, just go gently into the 5 with the cue ball, push the 5 over towards the corner, then that 5 leads right to the 6 ball. It'll be in perfect position. And I think he can do that. I think he can slow roll this 1 and bump the 5. What he has to do on the 5, he has to bump it on the left edge. If he goes that route, he can't hit it full. Ooh, boy. Nope. Does it go? Oh, it does go. Boy, that doesn't look like it goes. I think Zach is going to slow roll the 6 ball and put the cue ball locked onto the 10 ball so that Stripes has no shot. It's the same kind of a safety he did in the game where he just rolled into the 4 ball and hid behind the 3. He's got the same shot here in the 6. Just slow rolling, get the 6 to the rail, let the cue ball rest onto the right edge of the 10 ball, and then there's no shot for Stripes. As smart as he played on the safety in that 1 rack, I'm surprised he isn't doing that on this one. Oh, it's from a 1 pocket player. I got to love it, man. That was beautiful. Well done. Well done. Well done. The 6 came out a little bit, but I think Mr. Key is going to have a little issue with this. I don't know. I gave a shout out to Venture Out down there in Arizona. If any of you are watching, even if you're not at the pool room, but if you guys or gals are watching at home and you're on YouTube, put a message up there real quick that you guys are watching. That'd be kind of cool to see. If you are watching. If you're not, then maybe your neighbor is, and they'll let you know. Lewis Olson, are you down there in Arizona? Man, oh my goodness, what a shot. And he got it so perfect on that 8 ball. Holy cow. What a shot by Dan. He literally held that ball. Yeah, I think he could have. Leslie was saying in the background, he could have hit it a little bit harder and still would have had a shot. Might have had a little bit of a back cut on the 8, but he still would have got there. Yeah, if he would have hit it in the pocket, it wouldn't have. Yeah.
And he'd have been perfect still on the 8.
So Gary will take the, was that the 15 up there? Yeah, and you're right on that, Leslie. If he would have made that ball, the cue ball would have went a little bit further. But they still would have had a makeable shot. And if he got up on the 8 too much, you could actually bank it cross side. And if he got up even further, then he could have just cut it down in the corner. It would have been a tough cut, but there was a shot there.
I've won enough matches with a back cut without scratches.
Yeah.
I know exactly where that cue ball's going to go on those back cuts.
So just roll in the 11. Careful. You don't want to be shooting over a ball unless you have to.
At pocket speed, that's all you
Yeah.
have to do.
I don't really like this 13 from here. I don't like having that kind of a cue ball. I like going on the 10, and then I might even shape the 12 here. 12 or the 9. Yeah, that'll work too. 9's better. Take the 9 on the left side, float the cue ball down to the bottom rail, and come back up mid-table. Get on the 12 or the 13. Nice little slow roll. Natural shape on this ball. Just float down and then back up. Well done. Gotta love it when the pool ball just has a natural path to your next shot, and all you have to do is just kind of roll it along, get it going. We get so good sometimes at being able to manipulate the cue ball, moving it around the table, going this way off the deflection angle, etc., changing the deflection angle, but we don't have to sometimes. Sometimes it's so, not sometimes, but it's so much more simpler when it's just kind of natural shape, where we just kind of help the cue ball along. We don't have to do a whole lot to it. Oh no. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. You know, he was trying to hold the cue ball there because he had a little bit of an angle, and he was trying to help Gary out by not getting the cue ball too far off on the right there, making a tougher 8. He might have been better. He might have been better served at that point to draw back and play the 8 for the side, or even follow ahead and go 1 rails or go 2 rails with the cue ball and come back and play the 8 on the side. He might have had a better route going that way, but can't fault him for trying to hold that cue ball like that either. It's not always easy. What you end up doing is you try to throw it. You're hitting the ball more full and try to throw it. Well, you ended up throwing it too much.
Tell I'm having another grandson. What's that?
Jerry Johnson back in the booth.
Oh man, I've been running around busy.
Yes,
Mark.
you have.
I turned around and it's 10-3.
It was 4-0. Then Gary and James came back 4-3, and then Zach and Dan put on a 5-pack.
Wow.
Yeah, they put on a 5. They were playing some really good pool.
So the match next Friday, I'm looking at Vince and Gino against Dave O'Keefe and Jesse.
Okay.
And then I might be at a standstill on that one. So as far as another match, because of conflict, some people have a few things going on. So we'll get the schedule figured out, but and then we'll get everybody in tune there. So let's see. This one might be the 29th.
I know what's on my schedule for this. You want to know what my schedule is for this, Jerry? Piece of cheesecake in about probably a half hour. That's my schedule.
How they've been breaking?
Zach has been breaking great. He's been making balls in the break, and they've been getting these kind of spreads.
That's tough to beat.
Yeah. Well, when someone puts a 5-pack on you, it's tough.
They put a 5 on him?
Yeah, they put a 5-pack on him. Yeah, put a 5-pack. It's not only tough to come back, but it's really tough to answer that. It really is.
Wow.
That's pretty strong. But Zach was breaking. He's been breaking so well that the spreads are just nice for him.
Just got a text from Bob and Emily down in Arizona. Bob, hope you're doing good. Yeah, this match has gone fast. They put a 5-pack on, I guess. I just got back in the booth, and I left when it was, I think it was 4-0 when I left. So, wow. Yep. Hope you're doing good down in Arizona there.
They always tune in. It's always great to hear from the regulars on our matches, and they've always tuned in down there.
So, Zach,
always appreciate it.
He's looking at that 5 ball. Man, I want to get rid of that 3 ball first.
Yeah, you might not get back for the 3.
Yeah, unless he draws back.
Unless
right
he
now
draws
for
back
it.
now off the 5, yeah.
He's looking at it.
The 2 gets him on the 3 pretty good, though. But you have to be kind of on a good line on the 2. You see where the 15 is. You almost want to be straight in on that 2 to be able to get in the 3. Anything else, you're kind of in trouble. Especially if you're the left of it, then you're going into the stripe. I think I'm with you. I think I'd look at taking that 3 right now. Or the 5-1 combo and then draw back. The problem with the 5-1 combo is
you got to be careful how you hit it.
Yeah, if you catch that 1 thin either way, that 5 might end up going on to 10.
It goes goofy. Yep. Ends up sideways on you. It's got to hit this one good.
If that 15 wasn't there, it'd make it really
Looks
easy.
like he's drawn it back for the. Oh, he stopped it.
Oh,
Okay.
Don't follow it in. That's
Come out good there.
I think he had the 2 in case. I think he does have the 2 still, yeah.
Yeah, he has a 2.
2 and then 2 is a 3.
Yeah, but that 3, do they have any angle? Oh, nice shot.
Man, that was good. Wow.
That was a beauty right there.
Dan really navigates that cue ball around.
Now we can go a little inside English on this and come up table, or you can go 2 rails and out, or it looks like 2 rails and out from here. But
Yep. Get in the 5. And
might
then,
just hit high ball 2 and just go up 1 rail. Oh, he did go 2.
2.
Okay.
I kind of like the 2 as well because you
So
can
did
flatten
I.
out that angle a little bit more. It's
Correct.
easier to control this than being a thin cut in the 5.
Yep. Now we just got to leave a little angle on that 4 ball up there and come on down for that 8. Boy, they got it together, don't they? Mark, it's an early night for you.
Looks that way.
Did he get out? Yeah, he did.
Hey, Susan, you're from Venture Out. Thank you for tuning in. Dan had mentioned you guys in the pool room down there. and the fun time that he had and everything. And that's awesome. Thanks for commenting there on the YouTube, and we appreciate you guys and gals down there tuning in. And we'll keep you up to date for. Keep you up to date for sure. You know, if Dan and Zach end up hanging on to this one here when he plays next.
A little too much turn.
If you follow like CRs Sportsbar on Facebook or Jerry Johnson on Facebook, it'll always be posted on there. Then also MN Pool Players on Facebook will have these matches posted on there too. But again, thanks again for tuning in. We appreciate it. I'm sure Dan will be pretty pumped to see that you guys have tuned in too.
Got to be careful not to scratch. Okay, hit it on that side. If he hit it on the other side, the cue ball could go toward the side.
Yeah,
so.
could find that side pocket.
Well,
this isn't an easy starting spot here either. I'm playing safe from here.
I shoot that 13 to the
13.
side.
Oh, it does go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It looked like the 12 was in the way. Shooting off the rail.
Yeah. Down 10-3. No extra pressure or nothing, Mark. I mean, I'm at 100 to first place tonight.
Nice.
Pump up the term a little bit tonight. I knew it was going to be a little lighter with deer hunting and a few things going on. Added to first place.
$2,400 in the side pot too, in the jackpot.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. That's a nice chunk of change. Hey, thank you, Lynn Thorson, for tuning in over there. Appreciate it from River Falls. Thank you, and everybody again. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button on the app or on your browser, and thumbs up, thumb down. You know, depending on how you feel.
Yeah, if we can we get to 1,000 and get it monetized, then I'm going to put everything back to this tournament. Anything we make on that one. Yep, and I'm working on something real big for pool, by the way.
Oh yeah, nice. You always got something, Stu.
We'll see what happens. I'm hoping to bust pool wide open.
Nice. It'd be fun to be along for the ride for that.
Yep. As soon as I hear that, everyone will be happy.
Came up
All
a
right,
little bit
come up a
short.
little short.
Anywhere long is good. Anywhere short, trouble. I think I might even bail out on the safe here.
Yeah, roll up on. Just leave no shot on the 8.
Yep.
Leave it up. Yeah.
Put the cue ball up in that upper left corner area, or, you know, put that 12 ball in between me and the 8. And I don't know if I'm going to shoot and try to pocket a ball from this situation. This safety is such a high percentage from here.
You might get down low on this. Nice. Oh,
hung it up. Oh, my goodness. That pocket bit him twice like that.
See how it come down low, too? He had a tough shot on 13.
Yep, had a tough shot on 13.
Definitely
I think I would have
should've
played
been
safe
safe
there, yeah.
So, well, Mark, looks like it's an early night. That's the quickest you'll be out of here.
7:30. Holy cow.
Wow. They played good, though.
They played really good. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. And have a good weekend out there. And again, one quick shout-out. Anyone out there deer hunting on the trips, be safe, and good luck out in the woods.
Mark,
be safe out there.
Mark, thanks for commentating. Next
Absolutely.
week, I'm looking at Gene Albright, Vince Garcia versus Dave O'Keefe, Jesse. Possibly another match if I can get that one. I think there's a few people out of town, so it might be just one match next week.
Ure, okay.
And then we'll be back on the 22nd with your match, hopefully.
Yep.
So I'll be back in town to commentate that one. Anyway,
Thanks, everybody. We enjoy it. Have a good night and good weekend.
Thanks, everybody. We're going to turn the stream off and bring it back up for the tournament tonight, too. So thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
See you.